Secrecy and suspicion are the basic principles that a successful lawyer must follow religiously. The narrator, a novice to his profession, commits the blunder of trusting a stranger blindly and revealing the purpose of his visit to New Mullion to him. Thus, he not only ends up getting tricked but also becomes a laughing stock of the villagers. Let's see by this story that how he becomes the laughing stock of the villagers. Children, here is a summary of the chapter The Hack Driver, written by Sinclair Lewis. The narrator, a law graduate with honors, works as a junior assistant clerk in a distinguished law firm. Here he undergoes the unpleasant training period where his work is restricted to serving summons on people. This reveals the unpleasant side of city life to him, and he even considers returning to his native town where he can work as a real lawyer. One day, he is sent to New Mullion, a village some 40 miles away, to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. This fellow is required as a witness in a case but has been ignoring letters of the law firm. On reaching the railway station, the narrator is disappointed to see the muddy streets and ill maintained rows of wooden shops in New Mullion. The only saving grace is the delivery man, who is about 40, red faced, cheerful, a bit plump, and dressed in well worn clothes. The narrator finds him to be a friendly and likable fellow. He tells him the purpose of his visit and tries to sound secretive about it. This delivery man claims that he knows Lutkins very well and offers to drive the narrator round the village in his hack to help in locating Lutkins. A bargain is struck at $2 an hour, and the narrator discloses his plan to board the afternoon train back to city. The delivery man brings his hack, which is more of a black box on wheels. The narrator is instantly touched by the hack driver's friendly warmth and reveals to him that he is there to serve summons to Lutkins. The hack driver proposes to begin their search from Fritz's shop, where Lutkins might have gone to try his hand at a game of poker. He very proudly tells the narrator that his business is called William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking, and that people in the village call him Bill Magnuson. As the hunt for Lutkins progresses, Bill keeps talking about Lutkin's skill at being dishonest and gradually impresses upon the narrator that it is going to be extremely difficult to find him. Bill leads the narrator first into Fritz and instructs him to stay behind, lest Lutkins should become suspicious and escape. Bill inquires about Lutkins from Fritz, who glances at the narrator and answers that Lutkins was at his shop a little while ago, but has probably gone over to Gustav's for a shave. At Gustav's too, the narrator lingers at the door, but they do not find Lutkins. The owner is annoyed at Lutkins as the lawyer owes him $1.35. However, one of the customers tells the hack driver and the narrator that he has seen Lutkins walking down the main street. Bill guesses that Lutkins has probably gone to Gray's for a shave, where he is again missed by only 5 minutes. They look for him at the pool room, where they are told that Lutkins had just gone to buy a packet of cigarettes. Thus, every time they are very close to getting Lutkins but miss him by inches. After some time, the narrator feels hungry and suggests having lunch at a restaurant. Bill turns down the offer and convinces the narrator to bring lunch for him from his house. He charges him half a dollar for that. The dude sits atop Wade's Hill and enjoys the view while having lunch. The narrator understands that Bill was making some money in this manner, but does not mind it, as he too was going to bill his firm for all this expenditure. As they enjoy the lunch at the hillside, Bill gives details of the people of New Mullion and makes fun of a few of them. Such a lively description of the countryside catches the narrator's fancy, and he virtually falls in love with it. Once the lunch is over, they again resume their hunt for Lutkins. A friend of Lutkins believes that Lutkins has gone over to his mother, 3 miles north. Bill wants the narrator to be wary of Lutkins' mother, whom he describes as about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick, rough tempered woman, fully trained in the art of swearing. Lutkins' mother denies having any knowledge of her son's whereabouts. Bill then demands to search the house and claims that they have a legal right to do so. The woman goes to the kitchen and comes out with a hot iron rod and frightens both the men, forcing them to beat a hasty retreat. However, they succeed in peering at all the windows as the house is only single story high. They also search for Lutkins in the barn and the stable but do not find him. All the while, the woman with murder in her eyes laughs at them. By this time, the narrator's return journey is due, and he and Bill head towards the railway station. The narrator is so overwhelmed by this visit that he keeps thinking about the simplicity and friendliness of the people of New Mullion. He thinks he has found a treasure and has discovered a new way of life. He also views the possibility of settling down there to practice law and is not at all sorry for not having found Lutkins. The next morning, everybody in the office is annoyed with the narrator and he feels that his legal career has come to an end. Even before commencing, he is again sent back to New Mullion and a person who knows Lutkins accompanies him. The narrator feels sorry as the presence of another man with him would deprive him of the opportunity to loaf around the village one more time. At New Mullion station, the narrator notices Bill standing near his cart, talking and laughing with Lutkins' mother. He finds this strange, but anyhow points out Bill to the man who accompanies him. He tells him that Bill is the person who had helped him in looking for Atkins. His colleague exposes the narrator's foolishness by instantly telling him that Bill was none other than Lutkins himself. When the narrator serves summons to Lutkins, the latter laughs at him. He mockingly tells the narrator to have a coffee with their neighbor. Just look at the reason why. Because that was the only family that had missed meeting the city boy the previous day. Children, here is the ending of the story. The story, The Hack Driver, has the typical sting in the tail ending. The final revelation for the young narrator that the hack driver is Lutkins himself must have hit him hard. However, the sting is very deep for Lutkins. Also, as a trickster, never dreamed of being discovered the very next in such an abrupt manner. However, the manner in which the climax about Letkin's identity unfolds is hilarious and amusing. In the end, I want to say that things are not always what they seem to be. Appearances are often deceptive. The narrator reaches a village in the search of Oliver Lutkins. He meets a hack driver at the station. The driver warns him about Lutkins. He takes him on a tour of the entire village in search of Lutkins. He tells the narrator about his experiences and about the village and its people. The narrator likes him for his helpful and kind nature. He even forgets all about Lutkins. But the next day he finds out that the hack driver was Oliver Lutkins himself. He realizes that a simple and kind person was a trickster in reality. So be careful while judging the people. Children, I think you all have enjoyed this story. If you are having any doubt regarding this story, you can contact me. Thank you. Have a nice day.